education is?
Learning?
Yes, and it's service too. And what do you mean by service, Alice? Given education means helping others see more things clearly by itself. So education is helping others, and helping others is service. You'll both make splendid teachers someday. Run along, girls.
Okay, can you state your name and the date?
My name is Alice Whitaker, Whitaker. Today's date is November 15, 2021.
Okay. And do you consent to this interview and for it to be used for the purposes of the Appalachian Studies class?
I do.
Okay. Note that today's interview is taking place in Knott County, Kentucky on Cordia's campus with Alice Whitaker. Okay. Grandmama, can you tell me about Cordia and what school it is and how it began?
In the early 1900s, late 1800s, there were no schools in eastern Kentucky except little one-room schools, and the counties, the boards of education, could not afford to build schools up every holler. And you have to understand, of course, there were no roads at that time, no way for children to get to a school. So do-gooders would come in to the hills. They usually missionaries or other church groups or just individuals, and would say to the boards of education superintendent, we'll build buildings, we'll provide supplies and teachers, and you can do what you can do. And that's a way, well over 125 settlement schools started in eastern Kentucky. So-called settlement schools because it kind of followed the plan of the settlement house in Chicago that was well known for providing total services to families. In early 1900, a woman from Boston, Alice Lloyd, came to Caney Creek, Kentucky, and to provide education for the children. She was teaching only through the 8th grade at the time that my Aunt Alice Sloan was a little girl in pigtails, little holler girl, showed great promise. And so Mrs. Lloyd arranged for Aunt Alice Sloan, to go to Cleveland to live with a friend of hers, Anne Anthony Bacon, who was Susan B. Anthony's niece. So Aunt Alice, at age 14, with $15 in her pocket and a new used dress, got on a train in Wayland, Kentucky, and went to Cleveland. Fortunately, as I said, she was with Susan B. Anthony's niece. She went to high school in Cleveland. She excelled, obviously, in high school, and then went on to Ohio State, where she completed her degree in 1932. Took her 8 years to get through college because she would go a semester and work a semester. And Susan B. Anthony's younger sister gave her some financial assistance. In 1932, this was in the Depression, she came back to the mountains, although she really did not want to, but there were no jobs to be had there. And so my mother, Bertha Sloan at the time, was teaching in a 2-room school on Lots Creek. There was no high school, and as I said, there's no way that they could get to a high school. No roads, no electricity, no way. So Mother told Aunt Alice that Lots Creek needed a high school. So Aunt Alice came to stay only a year, 2 years, and then she would go back to the city that she loved. And she started writing her friends from Cleveland and New York and Ohio, asking for any assistance. And her friends were generous. They started sending books, clothing, food, money, whatever to help her. She started out with 2 volunteer teachers from her class at Ohio State, and the first year they had 7 students in high school. And after that point, the local people thought that she probably would stay and hoped that she would stay. So they remodeled a building for her to have for a high school. And she kept writing friends, and they kept responding. The school is Cordia School, which is the name, is the only remaining settlement school operating as they all did originally. There were many settlement schools, as I said, over 125, including Hindman Settlement School, Pine Mountain Settlement School, and others. I lost my place.
You said that Cordia was the only...
It's the only remaining, settlement school. It was the last founded. It was founded in 1933, and but it is the only one continuing as such this day. All of the settlement schools were somewhat different. Based on what donations they could get, based on how much support they got, and what the counties could do. And that the relationship between the private and the public continues to this day. The beginning it was a handshake. Now it's more a formal lease arrangement, but still working for the good of the children. These kids are on the far side of the county. Would take them an hour at least to and from to get to another school in the county, and they would not be able to participate in any after-school activities or sports or anything. So we have fought, and sometimes it has been a battle, to keep the school here in the valley. At this point, it's secure. We recently won a judgment in Franklin County Court that essentially said that the school can operate as such as long as they keep standards, the building is proper and safe and so on. And the judge said in perpetuity, which of course says to me, forever and ever and ever, amen. Okay.
Okay. Can you tell me first tell me what your role is, and then also let me know what are your dreams for the future of Cordia, and why is it so important today?
I am the director of the private organization, nonprofit corporation, Lots Creek Community School, which owns all the buildings and grounds for the Cordia School and the community. In addition to providing the school building and athletic fields and gymnasium, we provide many community services, including a food pantry from which we serve 200 families twice a month, home repair. In the summer we have 100 volunteers a week who live on campus and volunteer and work on folks' homes in the community. We provide scholarship assistance. Every child who graduates from Cordia is guaranteed a scholarship for college or technical school. And we've had many, and many of whom we've kept giving scholarships even through medical school or law school or pharmacy school or whatever, with the idea that education is the hope. There's little here in this area in the way of the economy. There's little opportunity for young people in the area except primarily in teaching or health services. Some, even so, have to leave the area, and we don't want them to. Our dream is to have everything here that they can stay because they want to stay. They love their mountains and they love their families and don't want to have to go someplace else to work. We understand that might happen, but we hope for the future that enough will be brought in, and particularly with, say, like the infrastructure bill that's currently been signed, that may open up lots of jobs in the local area.
I think I'd like to go to Cleveland, Mrs. Lloyd. Are you sure? Don't you remember our promise? I will use my education to help my own people, to return and settle in the Southland Mountains. You remember it. You taught it to me. Someday when I send for you, you must come home and bring me this ring.
Is it important that Cordia remain not consolidated with the larger high schools in the area?
I was saying that in reference to they'd be so far for them,
right,
to have to be transported.
Are there other benefits that the
the small school setting, and as an alternative, parents should be able to have an alternate school, and particularly like maybe small school, and the kids get lots of personal attention, which can't be offered at the bigger consolidated schools. Obviously some of the bigger schools can offer more coursework, but we have excellent teaching staff. We offer basic classes, and in addition we of course can offer online college. And as far as that goes, we have kids in junior, senior year who take college classes and are halfway through by the time they get out of high school. So I'm, after many, many years in the field, I'm more than convinced that the small school setting is good for most. Well, I don't know about most. The big consolidated schools are good for some kids.
Mm-hmm.
But the small schools, and like in sports, they probably wouldn't be able to play on a team in a bigger school. But here, they definitely can be part of the team.
Right.
And part of the community. The greater community here is very involved in the school, and they're very accepting of the kids, even if they're kids that are from other places. The community takes them in. So.
It looks like another beginning. Good luck, Alice.
And so the work went on. It had to, because there was a need, a hunger for learning. And today, teachers are coming to the children of those Kentucky hills. Teachers who have received their own education in modern classrooms at Caney Creek and Lotts Creek, where Alice Lloyd and Alice Sloan live and carry on their great work.
Build a circle beyond